Here's the truth. Nearly 70% of online shopping carts are abandoned. That means for every 10 people who add something to their cart, only 3 actually buy. But when you set up your Klaviyo abandoned cart flow the right way, it can completely transform your revenue. One of our clients, a Shark Tank-backed brand, was in that exact position. Their email channel was underperforming and they were relying too heavily on ads. After we rebuilt their Klaviyo system, they saw a 415% increase in email and SMS revenue in just 90 days. And in this video, I'm going to show you the exact abandoned cart flow system that we set up to drive results just like that, step by step, so you can apply it to your own store. Let's dive in. All right, so today we're going to be talking about the best cart and checkout abandonment flow system for e-commerce brands and online stores in particular. And essentially the whole goal or the whole premise here today is focused on recovering lost sales, right? We talked about how 7 out of 10 online carts are abandoned every single day. So if this is the first time watching one of my videos, my name is Nolan Butler. I've been working in email marketing for about 6+ years right now. So I sent my first marketing email actually in high school, and it made $50,000 back in high school. So I kind of figured out the power of email marketing back then, and just been kind of learning and working with brands ever since. So today I'm going to talk about the cart and checkout abandonment flow system, but I want to make a quick distinction here. So there's a difference here between actual cart abandonment and checkout abandonment flow. So they're completely two different things. They have two different metrics that they pull events from, but they actually have a lot of similarities in their structure and breakdown. So when we talk about cart abandonment, we're talking about the added to cart metric. So somebody triggered this added to cart metric on Shopify or, WooCommerce or whatever e-commerce platform you're doing. And when we talk about checkout abandonment, we're talking about the checkout started metric. So I'll give you an example here. So if we go to Athletic Greens here and we come down here and we say add to cart. So what's going to happen is it's going to open up this side panel which says your cart. So if I were to leave the website right now, then we would fall under the added to cart abandonment system here. So I just triggered the added to cart metric when I did this. And now let me show you something. So when you actually hit checkout here, you end up going to checkout, which is a completely different page, and it triggers the checkout started metric, which would fall you into the checkout abandonment flow. So while there are differences here between the two of these, there's actually going to be a lot of similarities in the breakdown and actual structure of these flows here. So that's what we're going to go over today. So this is one difference right here. This is the metric difference. So these right here are metrics, and those are what are going to basically trigger the flow. There's also another difference here, which is called profile filters. So profile filters. So what are profile filters? Well, basically these essentially tell the flow whether or not somebody can enter. So they say, does this person meet this criteria? Then yes, you can enter the flow. Does the person not meet the criteria? Then they can't enter the flow, basically. So there's certain criteria that each person has to meet in order to enter this flow. So this criteria is going to be a little bit different for cart versus checkout. So let's break that down a little bit. So for the cart abandonment flow, you want to make sure that somebody has not started checkout yet. So you want to basically make sure that people have not already gone to checkout, because then it would trigger both of these flows, right? You want to make sure that somebody has not purchased yet, because if they've already purchased, there's no reason to send them this email. You want to make sure that they have not been in this flow in the last 20 days, just to make sure people don't get overwhelmed with your emails. And then finally, the last thing you want to do is you just want to make sure that they're subscribed to actually receive SMS or email marketing here in this case, because this is something people often overlook, and it messes up your compliance, and you can actually get in kind of trouble for that. So the profile triggers for the checkout abandon are going to be very, very similar. However, the only thing we really want to do is we just want to exclude the checkout started here, right? If somebody starts checkout, we obviously want them to enter this flow here. So we basically just want to make sure, hey, this person has not purchased yet. They haven't been in the flow in 10 to 20 days. You can be a little bit more aggressive with your checkout abandonment flow compared to your cart abandonment flow, right? Because it's like more bottom of funnel. And again, you just want to make sure that they're subscribed. So there we go. We talked about the metric differences, the profile filter differences, and the only other real difference is just in the wording of, how you portray the actual flow here. So basically, like, how do you speak to somebody that abandoned their cart versus how do you speak to somebody that abandoned their checkout? Well, it's very simple. You can use the words cart and checkout. So now let's talk about the actual similarities between the two of these flows. So both of these flows are going to share the same sort of structure here. So they're going to have basically the same email actions, the same time delays, the same conditional splits, and kind of the same angles and everything when it comes to the actual emails. And we're going to break down everything from the emails to the time delays to the conditional splits to the actual angles inside the emails. But first, we need to draw one more distinction. So this is a question that I get a lot. Do you add both email and SMS into the same flows? So email versus SMS. And the answer here is no. You want to have separate flows for your email and your SMS abandoned checkout flows. So typically you're going to see a higher placed order or revenue range coming from your SMS abandoned checkout flows. SMS just typically performs better on your flows. And yes, you want to make a clear distinction between these two because the goal with SMS is to complement email, not copy. So complement, not copy. And the same thing can be said for email and SMS, right? So again, complement, not copy. Hey, quickly, before we break down the structure, if you want my help to implement this system for your e-commerce brand, click the first link in the description and book a call to see how I can help you. So now let's talk about the actual breakdown of the email abandoned cart, abandoned checkout flows, right? These are going to be both the same here for the two flows, right? So like we talked about, the breakdown and structure of each flow is very, very similar, if not the exact same. It's the metric, the profile filters, and the wording that's the difference. So we're going to start here with a trigger. So this is the trigger. So this is the metric that triggers the actual flow, like added to cart or checkout started. So here we go. We're going to write trigger here. And again, this is going to be the difference here between abandoned cart and abandoned checkout. So the trigger is going to be the difference. So after the trigger, we're going to wait 1 hour. And that's going to be the same for cart abandoned as it is going to be for checkout abandoned. And there's actually studies and research shown that 1 hour after someone abandons cart, abandoned checkout is the most effective time to send an email. So you guessed it, right after the time delay, we're going to send the first email here. So the goal of this email should really be simplicity, right? You want to basically remind them, hey, you left something at your cart, you left something at checkout, you didn't complete your purchase. Simply remind them. And then also pull in the actual product that they abandoned. So use that dynamic Klaviyo, variables or whatever that comes with the abandoned checkout template. And it's going to automatically pull in the product that they were looking at. So the product that they either added to cart or started checkout with, it's going to pull that in and show them again. This is really all you need to do here. After that, we're going to wait 1 day. So 1 day here, and we're going to send the second email. So the second email comes a day later. And you again want to focus on simplicity here, but also recognizing the fact that, hey, we sent you an email yesterday and you still haven't purchased, basically. You want to just tailor the messaging for that. Again, show them the dynamic product that they left behind and, have some sort of different angle here. Maybe in this one, it's straight up and down. Hey, you left something at your cart. Click this button to start or finish your purchase. Maybe in this one, it's you're pulling in some social proof, like, hey, when you purchase, you're joining a group of 10,000 plus fitness enthusiasts, or maybe you say, hey, we have 3,000 5-star reviews, or something like that. Some sort of social proof, maybe in this one. The goal here really is to kind of overcome objections and hesitations that people may have with your products, your brand, anything like that. So we have email number 2 here, and we have email number 1. So what do we do after this? Well, we're going to wait another day. So wait one more day. And here's where we're going to do something a little bit different here. So we're going to come down here and we're going to do a conditional split. So we're going to do a triangle for this, and a conditional split basically just allows you to target the messaging more particularly, more in depth. So what we're going to do in this case is we're actually going to break down this product by product. So let's say this is for product A, product B, and I'll explain this a little bit better. Product B and product C for now. And what we're going to do is we're just going to leave this one open for now, and I'll explain why. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take your top 10 best-selling products. If you have less than 10, perfect. You just saved yourself a bunch of work. But if you have more than 10 products, just stick to the top 10 for now, because it's going to, be very unsustainable if you have like 50 products to do this. And what you're going to do is you're going to take those top 10 and you're going to say, does this person that entered this flow have product A in their checkout or in their cart? Do they have product B? Maybe they have product C, and so on and so on. Basically, this would be yes. So right here would be the split. Does someone have product A in their cart? Yes. If no, basically you would do another split. Does someone have product B in their cart? Yes. If no, then they're going to go and they're going to try again. This is another split. And does someone have product C in their cart? Yes. No. So yes, no. And you just keep doing this for all 10 basically. And at the end, you just want to have some sort of generic email that like kind of catches all. Like if somebody doesn't meet the criteria of all of these right here, then they're still going to get some sort of relevant email here. So this can be more like brand specific and not product specific. So once you have those conditional splits, we already did the time delay. So you can jump right into the emails here. So I'm going to draw out the email for product A there. I'm going to draw out the email for product B here and the email for product C. And then finally, the generic email, the catch-all email, like to call it, because it catches all the people that did not meet the criteria from before. So here we go. Now we have email 3, and that's email 3A. Then we have email 3B, email 3C, and finally just the generic catch-all email 3. And what we're going to do here, all 3 of these are going to follow a very similar angle and path here. So they're all going to be about the benefits of your product. Now, you can do product-specific benefits here for each. So this one right here may have different benefits than this one. And again, for this one, you want to also make sure that you're using specific product images for product A in this email, for example. So lifestyle images of the exact product that someone abandoned in each of these is going to perform extremely well. And this is why we split by product here. It's because you can really tailor the messaging, the imagery, and everything to the specific product that somebody abandoned. And then at the end here, just again, more generic brand images or, all of your product images. Maybe you have a group photo of your products. That's where you're going to do that. So after we do this, we're going to wait one day. So one day here. And yes, you got to do this for all of them. And that's why do not do more than 10 products to start with, because you're just going to be, causing an absolute nightmare, or you're just never going to finish it. And that's something that you don't want to do, right? It's better to have just something than something that's never finished. So, and here we go. So now we're going to do product or email 4. So this is where we're going to keep the product specific nature of these emails. So we're not going to consolidate these yet. So there we go. We got email number 4, and let's just copy and paste this over here. Copy and paste it again, and copy and paste it one more time. And we'll come back here, draw the arrows. And this is where, again, you're going to have 4A, right? 4A, 4B, 4C, and then whatever this is, 4D. So this is where you want to lean heavily into social proof. So again, you want to pull in social proof specific to the product. And what I mean by this is, hey, can we pull in specific reviews from product A and put them in here? Can we pull in specific reviews from product B and put them in here? And then, so on. Product C. And then when it comes to the actual generic email here, just pull in your best reviews from your brand or anything like that, and that's going to work really, really well here. So social proof. So think any publications that your products have been featured in, any testimonials that are standout testimonials. Typically, the longer the testimonial, the better it converts. So think about it that way. Sometimes people think, oh, shorter equals better. When it comes to social proof and reviews and testimonials, typically the longer, more in-depth reviews are going to convert higher. So think about it that way. And this is going to be email 4 here. Now, what we're going to do after email 4 is we're essentially just going to consolidate everything in here. And we're going to essentially just kind of take that conditional split and bring it back into one line here. And we're going to wait 2 days this time. This is what we're going to do. 2 days. And then we're going to send email number 5. So email number 5. Now, this can be the last email that you send in this series, but I'll show you an optional extension that you can put on this series that will just kind of catch any last stragglers that may be sitting there. So this email is all going to be about like urgency. So last chance, sort of urgency based email. And you want to make sure that with this email, you're not just creating fake urgency or anything like that. Like the realer the urgency can be, the higher chance somebody's going to actually believe you that there's actual urgency. And that means the higher chance somebody is likely to actually act now and purchase. You just want to basically give somebody a reason to act now here. And again, make it a real reason. So here, I'm going to talk about this kind of optional extension that you can add on here. So I'm going to put it in yellow because you don't actually have to do this. But basically, if you want to, you could wait 3 days. And then you can do another conditional split. And this time we're going to split customers, so people who have bought before, and we're going to split prospects, people who signed up for your email SMS list but never have purchased. So there's going to be basically a 2-path conditional split here. So it's going to go customers, and then it's going to go prospects. So we'll put prospects over here and customers over here. And we already did the time delay here, so we can jump right into the actual email here. So after 3 days, we're going to send this customer email and we're going to send this prospect email here. Now, what I like to do here is basically just try to engage in like a 2-way conversation. So on the customer side, you should send like a text-based email here. So those emails that look like they came from your friend, that are like Gmail type of emails. You're going to want to send one of those from like a real person here. So maybe you have, maybe you want to send it from the founder. Maybe you want to send it from like a brand persona that you created. It doesn't matter really, just some sort of real looking person that sent someone an email. And the goal here is to engage in some sort of 2-way conversation where you can, get feedback, or you can tailor an offer specifically to the customer in a way that actually meets the customer where they are. So think maybe like questions like, hey, I know you've shopped with us before. Is there what was holding you back this time? And it could be even like multiple choice question where all they have to do is respond with, hey, shipping was the issue this time around. And you say, okay, if shipping was the issue, how about free shipping? How does that sound? Would that make you complete your order today? And then you can respond to that person. Your customer support team can respond to that person with a free shipping code or something like that. Maybe it's like, hey, it's too expensive. Well, okay, how does 20% off sound? And send that to them. So this is a really, really tailored way of following up with people and trying to catch any last stragglers here. And I put that as an optional because A lot of times brands don't have the capacity to run this for or with their customer support team yet. So you need a lot of SOPs and kind of clear protocols for how to manage these things, or you can kind of cut into your margins and make mistakes easily. But when it comes to this email specifically, right, we focus on the customer here. So what I want you to do is really tailor your messaging and make it feel like a VIP experience. So VIP experience for the actual customer. So like almost like a concierge is here to help them along their path on their buying journey. So on the prospect side here, you have the opportunity to take these people and get them to place their first order, right? So on this side, you have the opportunity to dig into your margins a little bit more and maybe present some sort of first time buyer offer to these people to try and get them over the actual hump of their first order, right? The first order can be sometimes the most costly to achieve, and then you can follow up and recover that CAC and customer acquisition cost over time through your second, third subscription purchases, things like that. But here you want to make sure it has some sort of urgency tied to this offer, because at this point, if they haven't purchased on email, 6 of the abandoned cart, abandoned checkout flow, it's unlikely they're going to purchase without some sort of really strong offer and really real strong urgency here. And you can basically do this and then follow up, whatever time frame later. Maybe that's an hour later, a day later. Maybe that's 2 days later with your 7th email. And basically, what this can be is like a offer ending type of email here. And again, this can be very simple and just restate the offer up here and say, hey, it's ending. You can position this almost as like a flash sale, like almost like a campaign, but still pull in the, product that they were looking at and everything, and still position this as a abandoned cart, abandoned checkout type of email, and still kind of recognizing, hey, this person left something behind there. And then finally, after like 3 days, you can go ahead and send a very similar to email as this email right here on the customer side, basically trying to engage in like a two-way conversation here with the prospect. Again, asking questions and trying to engage in that response-based email here. So again, just kind of gauging what they're really interested in and then tailoring those responses that you get from them back to the customer. All right, so that was kind of the email breakdown. Now let's talk a little bit about the SMS abandoned checkout flow. And there's really a couple of ways that you can go about this. There is what I call the consultative method. So I'll just write consult here for now. But basically what this is you're basically trying to engage in a two-way conversation off the bat with these people. So when I say consultative, it's really, hey, how can we almost diagnose these people and figure out why they didn't actually finish their purchase, and then offer a tailored way, in a personalized way, one-to-one, basically on a customer service to shopper method of solving that issue for them and getting them to actually place the order. There's another way, which is kind of the product specific route. So it's very similar to what we did up top with the product specific splits and everything like that. So you can basically do that again here if you wish with abandoned checkout SMS, and essentially just do the, hey, product A, product B, product C, and just really tailor the messaging. And I kind of forgot one here, but with the consultation and the consultative method of the SMS flow, a lot of companies are leveraging AI right now to do this extremely efficiently and without humans. So if you can figure that out, a lot of times companies are using PostScript for that, Attentive too, I believe, and some companies are building their own actual AI agents. And so if you have the ability to do that, which if you're, a 7-figure, 8-figure, 9-figure brand, then likely you do have the ability to do that. It's something to probably look into, because it's going to save you a lot of money if you're going to go this consultative approach. And there's really a third way, which is just keeping it simple, like couple of messages reminding people to go back to their cart, and that's it. So maybe you have one SMS, a second SMS that goes out a day later, and maybe a third SMS that goes out a day later after that. So if you're just getting started and you don't have an abandoned checkout, abandoned cart flow, set this one up immediately and just have some simple on-brand messages with the link to go back to their checkout or back to their cart. If you have the resources and you have this one already set up, then my recommendation would be to go with this consultative approach. The product specific one is okay, but you can almost do more product specific stuff within the like maybe dynamic variables. So instead of saying, "Hey, you left your protein behind," you could just pull in the actual product name. So it'd be like, "Hey, you left your uh, you know brand name protein powder, whatever the name of the product is actually called, or you left your brand name ashwagandha supplement or sleep supplement at checkout." And so you can almost do that just within dynamic variables. So my recommendation and what we've seen is that the consultative approach works the best here. So the setup and structure for this is going to be, relatively simple here. So you're going to have your trigger here to start this off. So you're going to have your abandoned cart and you're going to have your abandoned checkout. Those are going to be different triggers here to start the flow. So 2 different flows you need again. And once you're done with that, the first message again can go out 30 minutes to 1 hour later. So it's really up to you and you can test this. So I wouldn't go less than 30 minutes, and you can test going less than 30 minutes if you want to, but I would stick to 30 minutes to 1 hour after someone triggers the flow. And the first message in the consultative approach should have basically a very open-ended question. Hey, what stopped you from purchasing? Was there something that held you back today? And what you want to do is you want to also include the link to go back to the checkout or cart or whatever. So a lot of people forget to add the link, especially in this first SMS here. And the importance of this comes down to if somebody abandoned a product on their laptop and they get a text, obviously that's on their phone. If there's no link there, then there's basically no way on their phone for them to get back to their order. And if they do, they'll have to type in the website manually and add all the products to their checkout or cart again. So that adds a bunch of friction without this link here. So you always want to add the link there. And again, ask some sort of simple question here. This should look like it's coming from a real person too. Like, hey, this is Nolan at brand name. I saw that you were looking at our website, or you saw you added some stuff to your checkout but didn't finish. Do you mind if I ask what held you back from placing your order today? And then again, you can take those replies that people give you and you can basically tailor the response and tailor the offer to what problem or what held somebody back in the first place. And again, you get way more conversions and you build a bunch of brand trust as well when you do this. All right, so after this first SMS, so SMS number 1, we're going to wait 4 hours. And what we're going to do here is we're going to essentially split this right here. We're going to do a conditional split based off of if somebody clicked on this SMS right here. So if somebody clicked on this SMS but still has not purchased, that means that they are essentially ultra engaged and maybe right on the edge of purchasing. There's just something holding them back. And we want to remind them one more time very early on, because buyer intent slowly fades as you leave the abandoned checkout, abandoned cart trigger. Buyer intent slowly fades away until it's gone essentially. We want to split this into 2 groups here. So we have the yes, somebody did click on that SMS up there and never purchased, and we have no, somebody received this SMS but they still have not clicked on it. In the case of the no here, we essentially just want to skip and come down here, and we don't want to send them anything. But if somebody did click on that, then we do want to send them SMS number 2 here. And this is going to just be a really quick reminder. Again, include the link here to go back to cart, and it's going to be just a quick reminder. So very quick, simple. Nothing really crazy here. We're not going to do any questions here or anything like that. It's just going to be very quick and simple. Uh, the goal here is just to capitalize on that really strong engagement up top. So after this, what we want to do is we just want to wait like 1 day, and you can send your third SMS. And this time, and you can send your third SMS. And this one should be like either a multiple choice type of question where you ask one more question, but they have like answers to choose from. Like an example of this would be, hey, were any of the following the biggest issue for having you check out? Was it shipping? Was it the cost? Was it just you didn't need it right now? Was it something else? Or another strategy is just a simple yes, no question, which is very, very low effort, right? It's essentially using like a micro commitment to get the foot in the door and start a conversation with these people. So an example of this would be like, would you like me to see what type of offers I could get you? And somebody says yes, or somebody basically, nobody's really going to say no, right? Unless they're just kind of messing around. But most people are going to say yes, or they're just not going to answer. So after you've done this, SMS is very like high impact, but it also has very high unsubscribes. So you don't want to be too aggressive with your SMS strategy. And so really what I like to do is just kind of leave it here. I like to A/B test these, three SMS messages and make them super high impact. And again, you can see really clearly here that the goal of SMS is to complement, not copy. And that's what we're doing here. We're complementing each other. We're complementing the two flows together to kind of create this holistic abandoned cart, abandoned checkout experience for the customer and ultimately get them to place their order. Now, if you want to see how this works in real life, I've linked a client interview at the end of this video. In that video, you're going to hear directly from the team that we helped grow their email and SMS revenue by 415% in 90 days. They'll share what their retention program looked like before working with us, after working with us, and the results that they're seeing now. And if you're ready to see results like that for your own brand, click the link in the description and book a call with me and my team. On that call, we'll review your current email setup, we'll show you where the gaps are, and we'll map out how to recover more revenue from flows just like this one in this video. So go check out that client interview, and when you're ready, hit the link below to book a call, and I'll see you in the next one.